Hi, I'm Josh Curlow. One of the top questions I get asked from small business owners is, what should my website look like? Now, as a small business owner, you have a lot of options out there. To avoid a lot of the confusion, what I want to do is go over some of the key points or the really key elements to help you have the best website and have the best chance possible of converting new visitors to your website into action. That means having people actually call you from your website and have people actually email you from your website. So let's get started. The first thing we want to have is our logo. Now, I see a lot of people get this wrong. Believe it or not, it's just the logo. But there is a proper place you want to have that logo, and the position is the top left of your website. So imagine my white sheet of paper right here is your website. So let's go ahead and add the logo. Let me draw a box around it. And that goes right on our top left-hand side. Now, if you have a tagline or if you have a USP, you can add that right directly underneath your logo. So your logo always is going to go on your left-hand side, and anytime somebody clicks that logo, it will always take them back to the home page. Very important. Now, to the right of your logo, you see we have all this white space up here. So one of the key things that I see small business owners not doing is putting their phone number in a noticeable place, putting their phone number where somebody can easily find it. So that's what we're going to do. On the right-hand side, we're going to have our phone number. And above our phone number, we want to have a call to action. So I'm going to write down CTA for call to action. And underneath that, we want to have our phone number. So let me write down phone number. Too many small business websites hide the phone number. I'm not quite sure why they do that. Sometimes they put it on the Contact Us page. Sometimes they bury it down the page. And sometimes, believe it or not, they put it in this little itty-bitty tiny font where you can't even read it. So we want to have our phone number nice and big and bold, and we want to have a call to action directly above it. So we have our call to action, our phone number, we have our logo on the left-hand side. The next thing we want to have is our navigation. Obviously, very important. We want to have our home button, our about button, our why choose us button, our contact button. So the proper place for that is directly under your logo and phone number. And if you look at a lot of blog sites, a lot of WordPress sites, you'll see this is typical to format. You have the top header with the logo and phone number, and then you actually have your navigation directly underneath that. So we're just going to follow what people are used to seeing. So let me just add some little marks here. This is our navigation. This is where our home, about, contact us, why choose us buttons would go. Now, directly underneath that, the next thing you want to have is a video. Now, the video should be less than 90 seconds in length, and it should present an offer to your visitor. So you should tell them who you are, how you can help them, and what you want them to do next. So let me go ahead and draw a video box here. And write video. Now, with this video, you need to set it on autoplay. And what that means is when somebody lands on your website, that video automatically plays. So they're automatically engaged into what you're trying to convey to them. So they hit your website, they see your video, it's on autoplay. You're educating them about your product or service. You're giving them benefits by using your product or service. Now, the next logical step is to actually have them either call you with your phone number at the top or get them to give you their first name and email address. So right to the right of our video, I'm just going to draw a quick little arrow here. We want to have our contact form. And in the internet marketing world, they call that the opt-in box. Now, on our opt-in box, very important, we want to collect the first name and we want to collect the email address. Now, for collecting this information, we want to give something in return. So we want to reciprocate, as they say. So if you have a video that solves a problem for your visitor, or maybe you have a free report that you typed up that's really good, useful tips that you can give for free. Maybe you have a discount or coupon that you can give this visitor for trying out your product or service. Well, that's what you want to do. You want to reciprocate. You want to give them something for giving you their first name and email in return. So this is your opt-in box. Let me go ahead and write that down. Now keep in mind, if somebody's not ready to do business with you right now, and they give you their first name and email address, and they get that next piece of information from you, now it's your job to invite that person into your home. It's your job to market to this person. It's your job to market to this person consistently, giving them good information, educating them on why they should choose you over everyone else. So we have our opt-in box. Now let me go ahead and draw another line. And right below that, you'll see your video, your opt-in box. Below that, you have this huge white space. So the next thing I want to do is put our content area on here. So our content area is going to be key, and here's why. We want to have a benefit-driven headline. And then below that benefit-driven headline, you want to have 3 to 5 bullet points on why they should do business with you. So I'm just going to put 1, 2, 3 hash marks, write down bullet points. This way it makes it very easy for that visitor to consume your information. And below your bullet points, you just want to have supporting paragraphs to what you wrote in your bullet points and in your headline. But it's very important to keep it all benefit driven. Read your paragraph, read your content when you're finished, and make sure you have the word you in it multiple times. Now, if we have our content on this side, what are we going to have on our right-hand side? Well, we're going to add a sidebar. And you see this on a lot of blog sites. This is a typical setup. You have the right sidebar, and on that sidebar, the one thing we're going to do is add social proof. And when I say social proof, what I'm talking about is simply putting testimonials on here. So if you're a business owner, I hope you have testimonials. If you don't, you really need to start going out and collecting these. Now, video testimonial is great, and that's what we want to have. We want to have video testimonials all the way down this sidebar, anywhere from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. The more, the merrier. You can never have too many testimonials on your website. The testimonials, should be selling your product or service. So you have your video testimonial. If you have a written testimonial, that's fine as well. Just make sure you get a photo of the person so it looks even more believable. So we got our social proof. Let me write that down. And then further down the site, you have what we call essentially the footer. So I'm just going to draw a line across. And this area is going to be our footer. So let me just put another line. And in our footer, what we're going to have is a couple small things. We're going to have our navigation bar again. So this exact navigation that we have up here, our home, about, or our contact us buttons, we want to have it on the bottom right where the footer's at as well. We also want to have our privacy policy in our terms of our website. The reason for having a privacy policy page and a terms page is Google likes it. So if Google likes it, we want to be doing it. So I'm just going to write here privacy policy. I can't spell. Here we go. Privacy policy. We also want to have our name, address, and phone number. Very important. So I'm just going to put this over here. Name, phone number, address. There we go. And one more thing I forgot. One more thing I forgot to add, which is a biggie, is trust icons. Now, you may not have heard that term before, but let me explain what a trust icon is. Essentially, it's the Better Business Bureau, the Chamber of Commerce, an American Express logo, a PayPal logo, a MasterCard Visa logo. These trust icons, by adding them to your website, it'll automatically lend trust to your business. Because visitors, they'll go to your site, they'll see these icons, in their mind, these are big companies, and if you have them in your website, have these logos on your website, automatically you assume that built-in trust. So where do we want to have these? We want to add these right in our context section. So once you're finished your last paragraph in your content area, you want to put your trust icons. So I'm going to write that down right now, trust icons. So that's it. That's the website layout. And everything I went over here, I think, are the most important points that you want to have incorporated into your website. Now, your layout may not look like this, but that's okay, as long as you take into account some of these points that I just went over. Probably the biggest thing is having your phone number and call to action at the top, and also having your social proof, having testimonials to sell your product or service. Very important. Now, let me just do a quick run through real fast for you. When people read a book, they typically read left to right. Same thing when people go to a website. They look at it left to right. So let's go through this. As soon as they hit your website, boom, they see your video on autoplay. They're automatically attracted to your video. Then it sends them right to your opt-in form where they can give you their name and email address so you continue marketing with them. They look right below that. They have your social proof. They have the testimonials. They have all these different people talking about how great your services are. Then to the left of that, you've got your benefit-driven headline, your bullet points, why they should be doing business with you. Then, bow, you hit them with the trust icon. So you got your American Express logo. If you take credit cards, PayPal, MasterCard, Visa, Better Business Bureau, you have all that in there. And then below that, you keep it right in Google's eyes. You have your privacy policy, your copyright, your terms page, and then you have your name, address, and phone number as well. Google likes to see that on your page. So that, my friends, is my suggested layout and the most important parts, I think, of your website. So I hope this is beneficial. If you need any help, if you have any questions, please leave your feedback in the comments section, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.